Hello, everybody, and welcome back. It is another episode of CLX Foundry Live, where we dive deep inside somebody's build and we put it together from the ground up. I'm your host, DJ Blue PDX, and joining me live from our studios right there in Wichita, Kansas. Why would I say Texas? It's Paul Steffens, our lead technical expert, and our master builder, Zach Killingsworth. Gentlemen, how are you?
What up? Boy, doing good.
I don't know if there's a Wichita, Texas. I don't know where that came from.
Wichita Falls. Yep. Wichita Falls, Texas.
Oh, there we go.
Used to live
close
there
enough.
For a little bit.
Is it cool?
No.
Is it nice?
It is not nice.
Is there? Oh,
do not go.
Lord. So falls is not referencing water, it's referencing choices in life.
Yep.
Yes. Got it. Okay, so we've got a great project for Jeremiah in Benton, Missouri. Let's take a look at what we're going to be putting inside.
All right, so starting out with our processor, we've got the AMD Ryzen 9 9950X. To cool that, we've got our CLX Quench 360 AIO in black. For our motherboard, we're going to be using an Asus TUF Gaming X870 Plus Wi-Fi. And for our memory, we've got 2 sticks of G.Skill 32GB DDR5 6400 speeds, so 64 gigs of DDR5 RAM in this system. For our storage drives, we've got 2 of them. So our main drive is going to be a 2TB Samsung 990 Pro, and then as a secondary drive, we have another 2TB Samsung. It's the 990 EVO. For our video card, we're going to be using an RTX 5080, and we're going to have 8 of our case fans in this 3500X in black here. And then for our power supply, we've got a 1000-watt Corsair HX1000i. It's an 80+ platinum fully modular power supply.
That is nice. I'm looking forward to us talking about that once we get it started. Obviously, this is going to be in an NV. Wait, no. This is actually a Horus 3500X in black. Now, we haven't done one of these in a while. What are some of the cool features about this and tips when you're taking it apart?
Just super easy. Every panel's a pop-off panel, no screws. So that is that is the perk.
That's brilliant. That's big brain smarts right there. You can't drop something that doesn't have to be there. Alrighty. Now, of course, if you hear anything and you have questions about, please feel free to ask. We're here to answer them. Anita Tempers is here. I saw the Osmart is in the house. Hello. Please feel free to say hi. Hi. Okay, so our X870 Plus Wi-Fi motherboard. So what are the 3 primary chipsets right now that are out? Is it M4, M5, and then this?
Yeah, you've got the current ones are AM5 from AMD, and then on the Intel side, it's what, 1851, I think, something like that, some weird number, but yeah.
Oh yes, the year was 1851 when the processor chip came out.
Yes, Benjamin Franklin invented the processor, you know.
Mm-hmm. Dark Toad wants to know what the specs are. We actually just went through them, so give us a second. We'll run that through in a little bit. All right, now we've got this tough gaming board. Let's take a look at what's going to be on the back of it. Nice. I wish there was a way to see the back of them, because you know it's there, but just nobody gets to see it. It's like, shoot. Okay, so let's take a look at our I/O shield. We've got two USB 4 40 gig Type-C ports. That's 40 up and down. Then we've got three USB 10G ports, and those are Type A. Four USB 5 gig that are Type A as well. A USB 2.0 port just for legacy awesomeness. Your HDMI port, your Wi-Fi model, Realtek 2.5 gig Ethernet port, 5 audio jacks, all 5, and your BIOS and flashback button. Make it all simple. So there's a lot of connectivity that this thing has, especially given the USB 4 ports. If you've got a large number of accessories or otherwise, you just plug it into one of those. Everything can travel through it as long as it's not getting bottlenecked. Okay, processor time. So for the processor, we have got the AMD Ryzen 9 9950X. And unlike the one we did before, this is actually square, and I love it. So, Paul, tell me a little bit about the Ryzen 9 9950X, and how does it differ from the X3D?
This is a 16-core, 32-thread processor. It's got a base speed of 4.3, and it will boost all the way up to 5.7. So one of the top-of-the-line processors from AMD here. It's not just going to be great for gaming, but you're going to be able to use video editing software. Anything you really need to do on this, it can do.
Nice. Awesome. Okay. Now, Zach's screwing up into something into the motherboard, and I'm guessing you would call these the AIO mounts frame. What do you call it, Zach?
Yes, the AIO standoffs.
Got it. Now, are there different? Obviously, there's going to be different standards for different designs, right?
Correct.
For the AIO mounts. Got it. And how do you know which one?
So in the packaging, they will be labeled for which processor chip they go to. And so you just want to make sure that you select that right one. Whether you're on the AMD side or the Intel side, you want to make sure that you always install the right one. It might cause damage to your motherboard or processor in the worst case.
While Zach puts on some thermal paste, I want to say thank you so much to Paral. Bought a PC from y'all just a few weeks ago. It's the best pre-built I've ever purchased. Highly recommended. Thank you. We're so glad to hear that.
Yeah, thank you.
And if you're in our Discord, discord.gg/CLX Gaming, we actually have a thread in there for people who've purchased it or who have a CLX PC, so we can see it in your setup, whether it's your office, gaming, design, what have you. Well, and you can just put a picture in there. We'd love to see it. Okay, now, thermal paste. Is what keeps the metal going between there. So, talk about how much and what happens if you do go over.
So you want to put a small amount like what Zach put on there. That's a good amount right there. If you have too much, it's not going to break your system or anything. It's just going to get pretty messy and come out the sides of your radiator or your fan, whatever you're using to cool it. So you just don't want to use a whole bunch and then just have a big mess to clean up.
Gotcha. I'm on the road, sadly I can't do that until 2 weeks from now, but it's really nice. I'm so glad to hear it. I love mine. I absolutely adore mine. It is legitimately the best PC I've ever had in my life. Okay, so you see the plate? Now, again, this is going to sound like an idiot question, but how do you know which way to put it on?
I was going to say, most AIOs have a logo on them, so you obviously want the logo facing the right side up. That's a pretty good indicator. If yours doesn't, you just typically, the tubes are going to come out the right side of the pump. Now, there are some coolers where it comes out the left, but definitely using the branding is a really great way to make sure you got it on right.
Awesome. And so when you're mounting one of these, because obviously it has a radiator. In fact, why don't you explain to people what the radiator does and how this works to cool your processor?
So the radiator works just like the one in your car. So this is filled up with fluid. If you get an AIO, these come out of the box ready to go. We're going to be putting fans on here. Since this is a 360, we're going to be putting 3 120 millimeter fans on this. So the pump will pump air up one tube. The fluid will go down through the radiators. The fan will cool that fluid, and then it will go into the other side and go down and cool your processor. And it just does a continuous loop like that and keeps everything cool.
And these can last for quite a while, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, these are a great option to use because they last so long. I've been using my 360 for many, many years.
Chili Con Carnos, hello, welcome in. So now you said it's a 360, but we've actually seen that there are other sizes of AIOs. What are those?
So the main ones are 120, 240, and 360. The 120 being one fan, 242, and 363. But there are 140 mil options for those larger fans. You can get a 140, a 280, or a 420.
Ow.
Yellow swag.
Nice. All right, so now we're going to pop in our RAM, and this is going to be two 32 gig sticks of G.Skill DDR5 6400 Trident Z5 memory, RGB, which is great. So here's a question. Obviously, by the way, for those who've never done it before, you always start with lanes 2 and lanes 4 for your RAM insert. So I used to have a real big thing about taking labels off of stuff, like, just because I wanted it to look as clean as possible. Why shouldn't you do that on PC equipment?
Well, a lot of the times your serial number is on there, so you definitely want to keep that for warranty information or something like that if you're building on your own. Now, if you get one of our PCs and you want to do that, that's fine. We do have a serial number on the back of the computer that you can always use that we can use to reference if you ever need assistance.
Gotcha. I had to call a company once about a problem that was happening with a power supply, and I had taken the stickers off. And it was like, well, it's black and it has cables coming out of it. Whoops. Yeah. Heyo, Day Live. Hello, how are you? Good to see you. Now, what you just saw Zach pulling off is going to be the heat sinks for the hard drives, which are the M.2s. So we'll start with the M.2s. There's two 2TB 990 Pro NVMe M.2 drives. They're EVOs. No, one's a Pro, one is an EVO. That's right. So the main one is going to be the Pro. The secondary one will be the EVO. So let's talk about what the difference is between those two.
So the Pro is going to be a faster read and write speed. So it's going to be our faster performing drive, which is why we're going to have it as our main drive. So our OS can be on there and the main games. But the 990 EVO is also extremely fast. So performance difference between these, the Pro is going to beat out the EVO, but both of these are great drives. You can definitely use an EVO as your main drive. These are both just really good.
All right. Now, with that being said, we've got to pull off the stickers because it's going to be a problem if you're trying to cool down a drive and you've still got the plastic on it. Zach, things to keep in mind?
Yeah, just want to make sure that if it does have a heat sink on it, that the thermal pad that is on there does have the plastic peeled off of it. Plastic does not transfer heat, and that's one way to lose your Steam library.
Ooh, explain.
Oh, just like with it overheating because you forgot to peel a peel. And then your computer system overheats because you're gaming too much because, you know, all of the sweet video games that are out there are just too enticing to not play.
Don't want to lose your Dark Souls saves.
I know.
Yes, absolutely.
I lost all my saves on Dark Souls 3, so I had to start over. Yeah, it's like, I don't know, 100.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was
That's
like hundreds
horrifying.
of hours, but it's okay. We started over.
I had that with Mass Effect 3. I had all of the DLCs and played through it on Xbox. And the save file with my whole 100% completion failed.
Gone.
It corrupted. And I was like, well, I guess I could play it all over again, and then thought, No. I'm not crying again. And at the end of Mass Effect 3, if you don't get a little choked up and teary-eyed, you've got issues. There's a new Doom mod, Indiana Doom. You can use a whip and a gun. Oh!
Oh, shoot.
Oh, there's something.
Whip some demons into shape, you know?
Who played the Indiana Jones game? It came out like earlier this year or last year. I actually played it. It was really fun, but it was very Assassin's Creed-esque.
I got an ad for one on the Switch too. I don't know if that's a new one or if they're just making it available on that, but I got an ad last night for Indiana Jones on the Switch too.
I know we've talked about. Oh, let's see. Cosmer says, "Hi, Cos. Have you guys seen that Asus is entering the RAM market with a special edition release in black, red, and gold?"
I did not see
No,
that.
but I do now.
I'm sure if they do, we will see some of that memory here.
So I know we've talked often about handhelds in, just industry-wide, past, present, and hopefully future. One thing that drove me that always makes me go, when I see a mobile like, say, hey, you're going to get Indiana Jones on the Switch. What version of it? When the game Wolverine came out, I had it on Xbox. My friend had it on Xbox 360. I got it for my PSP. And the game that I had on the PSP was nothing like the one on Xbox.
Rip.
The storyline was botched. There was the graphics were way ramped down. I thought, how do you say it's the same thing? It's not the same thing.
Was there like GTA on Game Boy Advance that just looked super strange? Like some top-down weird stuff? I don't know.
Yep.
I feel like that was.
Fallout 4 on the Switch 2 is just a box with a console, with a box with a code. Oh. So, you love it that much. Okay.
I don't know if I'll get a Switch
Yay.
2 sometime. We'll see.
I'm just buying up more Beyblades.
Beyblades, brother.
Beyblades. We were having a large conversation about Beyblades earlier today in the show.
Mm-hmm.
In the pre-production room. All right. Now we've got our 3500X in black. This is a Horus build. So this is considered a mid-tower, mid-size. Paul, what are some of the features of this case, and what kind of connectivity does it also add to your system?
So this case is a pretty standard one. I like the size of this. It's like you said, it's a mid-tower, so it's full ATX as its form factor, so we can use a full ATX board. For outputs and I/O and stuff, we've got two USB 3.0s, one USB Type-C, and then a headset and audio port, and then a power button, a reset button. So pretty nice to see these cases are having a Type-C port on top of them. That's obviously becoming more and more common. So I feel like everything I buy now that charges is Type-C.
Yep, I'm getting there, getting that point. Right now, I have a few of the mini USB, micro USBs that are still plugging into things, and I'm slowly migrating my gear out with stuff that's all USB-C because then it's just easier.
Yeah.
Nah, I've got one cable, old USB cable. I don't even if it's micro or macro, and I have 3 devices.
That all use it?
Yep.
Yep.
So,
Dang.
and they're all camping devices. So, we're going camping this weekend. So I've been charging away.
Nice.
Funny enough, and it's just, I don't understand the logic on this, but industry standard for DJ equipment, like mine, is you connect to your actual, like your platter or your media player with USB Type A. But the plug-in to the mixer is always the big fat one. Which one? What is that called? The big
It's the
square
what?
one.
The big square one?
Yeah,
Like
the
that's
old
USB,
one.
but it's got like a big square on top. Weird thing.
Yeah, it's four sides with.
It's
little divots in it.
I think it's a
Firewire?
USB-A. There is FireWire, that's different, but there is like a USB-A.
Oh, yeah.
If you look up USB printer port, that's what it's commonly known as, but that's not the
Yeah.
official
Yep.
name.
Yeah, basically that's it.
It's just a USB
Yeah,
connector that
port.
didn't take off.
Yeah.
Which is fascinating to me because I'm like, this has been out of style for how many decades?
Well, same with
And
the Molex connection, and we still, are that baby's going strong.
The Molex. Molex will be around long after us.
Yeah.
They'll be talking about it on CLX Foundry.
It is like the old technology that was actually the future technology, and so that's why it will never go away. It is like the fifth element.
Yep. They'll be like, they got this legacy connector on here, like how we talk about the PS2 connector on some motherboards.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. A little bit of legacy love, just in case.
Just in case what?
Well, that in case you want to do like a vintage parts show. I have.
Build a ham radio computer.
When I did my last clean out, I got rid of all of my PS2 port devices.
Womp womp.
I know I hadn't been using them in ages, but like now everything's wireless.
Wall art, DJ.
What?
Wall art. Just start selling wall art. That's what you do with all your old bike parts. Some people, go a step above wall art and call it lawn art, and but just because my cousin likes leaving his truck out in the grass doesn't mean that it's
Oh boy.
Or you could make something like that and call it target practice.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Katinka.
All right.
Voila.
Now, explain what you just did.
So I prepped the case cables by just going down the natural line. I have built this case enough that I know my layout for how the cables flow, and these two USB cables will go through this little hole right here and plug into their respective ports right there. And this flat cable is our front panel cable, and it will go right there and plug in there. And this big cable is our HD audio cable, and it will go right there.
And this is why he's called our master builder.
Mm-hmm.
So
he does all the things.
Down.
They're definitely asking for a Beyblade battle.
Beyblade battle.
Yeah?
Who said we had Beyblades? Oh, we said that.
Smart says
Let's
Beyblade
rip
battle.
it.
Smart wants a battle. He gets a battle.
Which one you going
I want
for?
some game show music on here right now. That would be
green.
awesome. All right, we're going with green or red or green?
Red or green? Decide now.
Powered up. Let's see where it goes.
3, 2,
Who here in
1.
the chat actually has Beyblades?
Oh! We got a burst.
Green shattered.
What in the heck happened?
Yeah,
Green
we got
blew
a
up.
burst.
Beyblades get intense, okay?
Dang.
Katink.
Oh, so you can just take them apart and put them back together.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's a whole strategy
you
in
can
that.
make mix and match. The
Oh, that's cool.
The bit determines if it's an attack, stamina, or defense type style Pokemon, and then the ratchet, is ratchet, and then the blade determines if it is also an attack, defense, or stamina Pokemon as well.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta catch them all.
3,
2, 1.
Yep. By the way,
Red is on fire today.
red is like just killing it. Nice.
2-0.
I did not think that there would be that much of a science behind this, and yet there is.
Oh yeah, brother.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
All right. Now, we got the case. We're laid it down. The cables are all done. What's the first thing you want to look for and make sure they're in the right positions?
Your standoffs.
There we go. That's what I was looking for.
And
Now,
your
these
I/O
standoffs-
shield if your motherboard doesn't have it connected.
Now, most cases, if I'm not mistaken, come with their standoffs already in place, right?
Correct.
But what happens if your case doesn't?
Just want to, it will, like this one comes with a little baggie, and there's 3 extra standoffs, so if you have ASRock motherboard with the extra standoff, you can attach one. Or if you have like a little MATX style motherboard, you can attach. Sure.
Upstairs is a PC that my housemate had me build so we could actually have do graphics on the TV, like artwork, because at that time wasn't really a thing we had access to. And it is a little cube, like a rectangular little block. That's it. It's old enough that it actually it's I think it's got a 930 in for its GTX, if that. But it's like a 3-cylinder car. It's just one of those things where it's like, that was a cute idea, but no. But so small form factors. How small can they get?
Well, they can get pretty small. So smaller than ATX, you got MATX, and then below that you've got ITX, which is very, very small.
Excellent. ITX. There we go.
ITX.
ITX have you. I was way too optimistic. All right, make sure you get all of your little screws in there correctly. And as you mentioned, they all have the little rivet. Not rivet, the little, looks like solder. Like he'll point out right there as he's doing that. Yep, there we go. Yay! Hola chicos y chicas, buenos días. Bien, muy bien. ¿Y tú? Been working on my Spanish. I had to quit learning Portuguese because they're way too close to each other. And I'm mixing my Portuguese with my Spanish. I'm like, oh God, this is not great. Today is Taco Tuesday. It is a Taco Tuesday. Make sure you go get your tacos today. Ashim says we were talking about cars the last stream. Did you guys check out Forza 6? Yes. It is bad. It is badass. It's looking so amazing. I have a mounting steering wheel, or like a driving wheel, that I am really excited to try and hook up on the desk, but it's got haptic feedback on it. So if your car starts to shake, your wheel starts to shake like this, and I'm worried about it doing something to, like, moving the camera.
Yeah, so then that means that, they're involved too. Mm-hmm. They're feeling what you're feeling.
That's excellent.
Haptic cameras.
Immersion, DJ.
It's what is that? 4D?
It's that 4D immersion.
Yeah.
4D immersion.
Yeah. DJ.
Here's a question.
DJ Blue and 4DX.
Yeah.
Right. That's my new website. So now I have a pedal system with it, the 3-pedal, and I can choose to either do just gas and brake, or gas, brake, and clutch. Or also, I can use the paddle shifters for my clutch to go up and down if you're doing manual, which I can't imagine why you would do auto, but it's the thing. So what is your preference when it comes to how you're, like, in these kind of games? Do you prefer to have a clutch on the foot, or you want to shift by hand?
Shoot, I don't. I want to be fully auto, at least when I'm in a video game. It never works like a car.
If I'm on my steering wheel, I'll shift, because I prefer shifting.
Things on the steering wheel.
Yeah, mine's like the super old Logitech one, so it was like before they did all of that fancy stuff. But it does have the little shift knob, but it's just a up down, and I'm more of a 6-star if I'm gonna shift.
I'm used to driving stick shift cars, so if it doesn't feel like that, I can't do it.
Logitech actually just came out with the new wheel that is here. You get multiple different steering wheels, but you have the option of getting a gear shift.
Yeah.
A full-on separate gear shift to make it feel more legit, which frankly I don't have, but I would really love to find out how that feels compared to, just driving a real car. I'm always using the gear shift. Up and down. And how many people in chat? We got, 22 people in here? How many of you know how to drive a manual?
Zero.
Katinka.
Like a non.
Yeah. I bet there's a couple.
Oh man,
I do, but we're onk status, you know. Once you're onk status,
I used to enjoy just roll starting the car just for fun. Just like, hey bro, can you push me?
just pop
Just
the clutch.
in the prelude and just like, guys, we're gonna go down here. But we're not gonna be loud about it.
My buddy was bringing his computer up here last week, and he pulled up in one of the brand new Supras. I was like, when did you get this? So I was talking to him about my truck, and he wanted to see it. So I showed him the truck, and I dropped the tailgate, and he just started laughing because I got the fishing poles in there. He's like, bro, we're old.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I'm an old man now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough.
So I haven't done it yet. I haven't done it, but I've been told how. So maybe 25% yes.
It's fun, but if it's your daily driver, it does get kind of old. When it was my daily driver in the Focus, it was really fun, but you get in traffic and it's like, I don't like this.
Yeah.
You'll get clutching-y.
When I lived in Houston, I never understood people who owned like Lamborghinis and Ferraris and stuff like that. And I'm like, has that vehicle ever seen 50 miles an hour?
Yeah.
Or like 70 miles, like for an extended period of time? Not just like
Right.
and then slowing back down again.
Yep.
3AT
Yeah, I don't
said they had
understand.
a Prelude SI four-wheel
That's what I was going to say, yeah.
That's sick. The four-wheel steering ones, those were rare.
Yeah, those were wicked. Amazing. A friend of mine has it's a Subaru Outback Sport. I think is what it is.
Is
Or
it
maybe
a new one?
It's the same kind that they use to race in Australia.
Sweet.
And
Straight
that thing's got so much zip, it's not even funny.
down under.
Yep, get down yonder. You lived in Houston. I'm sorry, I hate the traffic in the loop in 610 and never leaving Katy traffic. Yes. But to go back to the clutch thing, yeah, in rush hour traffic, oh my God, your left leg gets some work. And I was had a Volvo 240, so, and it was technically a 4-speed with a push button overdrive, whatever that means.
Yeah.
You pushed a button for overdrive.
But that car was lit. I loved it. Until I accidentally drove it off a cliff.
What? Then it was really lit.
Yeah. Well, luckily the tree stopped it from completely falling off the down the 200, 300 foot ravine. There was this back road that I used to go to get to where I was living at the time in Portland, from when I was working at the pizza place.
You mean the ditch?
And it was no. You mean the ditch? No, like this road sits on the side of the mountain, and then it's just this drop. Well, I'm coming around the corner, and there's another car coming around the corner, and this deer jumps right in front of me, and I'm like, oh my God! Well, I couldn't go to the left, so I went to the right, thinking I have a little space. Nope. I went right through the railroad ties into the tree and started to tip like this. And I'm like, oh my God.
And then Bambi came over and put his hooves on your trunk and saved you.
I threw all of my stuff that was in the front seat in the back seat, carefully climbed into the back seat, opened the door, and then got out and immediately sat on the trunk. I was like, well, this is where I am. Good Lord, does anybody have coverage? I don't.
Didn't have Verizon.
Yeah. Yep. And what's really bad is everything was fine on it, except I had a dent on the bumper, but I snapped my front axle. Which, at that point, she's done. It's over.
Duh, that's independent suspension, baby.
Right? Fun fact for those who don't know how manuals work, if your clutch control is bad, your car can roll backwards if you don't have a good clutch control. Yeah. Hills, practice on hills if you are learning manual.
Yeah, go to the parking lot and roll back into the truck loading dock backwards, and then, pull out without running into the big old bumpers. You'll be
wait
fine.
until the skate park is empty, and then just drive into the skate park, and that'll be enough of an exercise for you.
Well,
still have to jump that thing to get it out.
There's going to be some Tony Hawk bonus points for that.
Yep.
Speaking of which, skate parks. I've come across these videos lately on, I think it's on YouTube and on Instagram, maybe on TikTok, where they're covering entire skate parks, right, in soap and suds. And so they're sliding around and catching the drift on all the turns to get back up. It is wild.
Jeez.
Yep, absolutely wild. Check it out. All right, now we've got
Are
our
you
fans.
sure they're not? Are you sure that no one's just that there's not just like a Karen who doesn't like the skaters being all smelly like next door to her neighborhood, and so at night she's going over there with Dawn and she's like, ha ha ha, these skaters are not gonna enjoy this, thinking that she's like ruining their skate park, but they're like, yeah. We love this.
Now, every time it needs to be washed down, that's what they do. I learned the hard way while driving installed traffic on an uphill incline. Yes. When it smells like Comic-Con. Yes, basically. Cosign Cody, where have you been? We haven't seen you in a minute.
He was co-signing
by the way,
some
just-
apartments, you know?
Yeah, there we go. By the way, what Zach is putting together is our 8 GameDeus Aeolus M2 fans, 120 in white. They're a pretty standard fan. But the cool thing is, the blades light up and the ring lights up. So, like mine, right there. So you get a lot of different options for color play, which is neat. I will say one thing though, Paul. I've been trying to figure out how to program a light, I guess light program cycle that goes the rainbow, but everything except for green. And I have not figured out how to do that.
Yeah.
You know, just
If I
jump
do
from
green, all
blue
of a
right
sudden-
to yellow.
Oof.
You know, just do it.
Blue could work. Yellow might be a problem. I need to pull upside, pull green and yellow. So red, orange, blue,
Yellow, green,
violet.
and blue, green and blue.
Oh, Roy G. Biv. Did you ever use Roy G. Biv?
Red, orange, yellow, blue,
Head
indigo,
violet.
Toes.
Yeah.
indigo. Who uses the word indigo? Jeez.
Well, I mean, it is technically a different color than violet.
Yeah.
you
I
know
love
what's
that
great about
color.
the word
It's
violet?
indigo.
I love the word violet because it is one letter away from violent.
Oh.
Oh my gosh, I have T-shirts that from my March line that say DJ Blue PDX, putting the laughter back in manslaughter.
Good.
Because the word laughter is in manslaughter. You can't spell it without it. Okay, now here's the thing I'm really, really excited to talk about because this is not often. In fact, it's very, very rare we ever get one of these on the show. So, Paul is pulling out the power supply. These are essential for powering all of your components in your computer and keeping everything going. So what friend Jeremiah chose was a Corsair 1,000 watt modular 80 plus, but a platinum. So I want to talk about two things, Paul. It says it's a modular. Is it? Or is it non-modular?
It is a modular.
Oh, it is? Okay. There we go. So, there we go. Oh, I'm thinking in reverse. There we go. Ignore me. I'm still bald.
Still bald.
So let's talk about why it's important and what makes this different when it comes to modular versus non-modular or semi. And then talk about the platinum because we rarely see this on the show.
So modular means none of the cables are pre-soldered in, so I'm going through the cables that we'll need for this build. You can see this is obviously our power brick here, the 1,000 watt. Got a whole bunch of ports. It is a bit larger because of the high wattage power supply. The 80 plus platinum is the efficiency rating of this, so platinum is a very high-end one. So this will be very efficient. It's not really going to affect our performance in gaming or anything like that. It just means that the power it pulls out of the wall, it is going to use efficiently.
Got it. Now, do these tend to be a different shape because of the fact that they're platinum and it may require different components, or is it, how does that work?
Usually they're the same shape. The size of the power supply is based on the wattage.
Got it. The only ones that are rectangular. What was that one that's really long?
It's probably a 1600 watt, I would think.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what it was. Those things are huge.
They're real big.
Huge comparatively. I went with a 1300. I'm pretty sure I overpowered my computer.
It's okay. So when you want to talk about future proofing, I think that is future proofing. Having a
Agreed.
power supply that will last until it gets like fried by a Zeus lightning bolt hitting your house style. Like that thing is going to last for multiple builds. You can carry that piece like Paul's AIO. That is a good device to spend your money on. A good piece.
I have yeah. I have 3 separate surge protectors in line for the studio. One is in the primary line that comes through to the studio. The second one is in the branch off line. And then the individual one that comes over here to power the PC has got one. And then, it's 4 technically. And then the power strip has one. So if it can burn through all 4 of those, I'm going to not say that out loud. Don't put that in the universe, DJ.
Don't do it.
Knock on wood. Okay, there we go.
Don't you put that voodoo on us, Ricky Bobby.
Great. Now, cleaning out your PC, I'm only bringing this up because I got one because I don't know. Friend said it would be better. A lot of people use canned air, compressed air to clean out their PCs, right? What happens if you get a blower?
You don't need to buy compressed air all the time.
It blows a lot. Okay, I don't. What am I? I'm not going to do that again. But yeah, is it safe to use these?
Absolutely.
Okay. I wasn't sure if there's like something static wise that it has, but yeah, cool. Everything's getting dusted today. Now, one thing to keep in mind, everybody, when you dust your computers, you've got to figure out where the hell the dust is going. Have a plan for that. If you just blow it off and leave it in the air, it's coming back, or you're breathing it. So just keep that in mind. I see people use compressed air and their fan is on fire. Why?
You can definitely overspin your fans, so probably don't blow compressed air directly at your fan.
Don't anything that's flammable. Don't put it at. Jesus. Oh my God. That's wild. Now we do have 8 of these. We've got one main fan that is in the bottom for intake. That black power supply shroud is going to provide a separate opportunity for the PSU to pull the air up and get it out without affecting the rest of the system. And then the rest are the rest of the intakes and outtakes. So we've got total of 4 intakes, total of 4 exhausts, but the 3 exhausts on top are pushing a radiator. So does this constitute a positive pressure environment?
Yes.
Nice.
Come on, Rip.
Oh no.
There we go. We saved it.
Rip. Slow and steady like that tortoise.
That's right. Maybe that's how these were designed to rip.
Here's another question for chat.
Beyblades.
How many of you use wireless versus... How many of you use wireless components like keyboard and mouse versus wired keyboard and mouse? I would love to see this. All right, getting everything plugged in.
So I don't got to get wired, you know?
Right, there you go. Now, for this particular manufacturer, Corsair, is there labeling to let you know which cable goes to which spot?
Yes, the cables are labeled on one side. They say CPU over here, and then the ports on the power supply do say that these are like your CPU VGA ports. These are your SATA and Molex ports. So,
Gotcha. So that's answers that question. Also, you can check your user's guide. Always read the instructions first, people. The one where it blew up in his face. Hold on. What? Oh yeah, no. I have seen that one. It's horrifying. Like, people, please don't test the world. It's like being dumb enough to eat a Tide Pod.
Yum yum.
That-
Eat them
No.
up. Clean out your
Some
insides.
challenges with life, you know.
Eating
It's
Tide
not.
Pods
It's not
gets
like.
rid of COVID.
It's not like life is easy enough to live as is. You know, having some extreme challenges. You know, that's how else do you get those achievements? Those real life achievements.
There was a TikTok that had well over a million and a half views, and I thought, well, that's interesting because it's hilariously awful. And when I say this, please don't try this at home because it will burn your eyeball out. This girl was sitting there going, okay, so I've heard that actually you can get rid of your red eye with lemon juice. So I'm going to go ahead and try a drop of lemon juice.
Free
I
LASIK.
mean, the reaction that she had was absolutely
Priceless.
amazing. And I'm sitting there going, she's not really going to do that, is she? Yep, she did it. So please don't do stupid things. Just
Well,
because
did
TikTok
it
says so.
work though?
Hell no. Oh my God, that kind of acidity on the eyeball, I can't imagine what kind of damage that did. Uncut Chain, what's up? We haven't seen you in a minute. It says, what is the most popular GPU people when they order from you guys?
That's a good question. There's definitely a few up there. Probably the 5080. What GPU do you see the most on your build site? Is there a specific model that you just get the most of?
80s, 70 Ti's,
Yeah.
90 70s, 90 XTs, 70 XTs, a lot. Like, yeah, just everything
Yeah.
in that range.
Nice. Okay.
I
I'm
don't
asking
see
a dumb
graphics
question.
card. I just build them.
So you mentioned future-proofing the design, and this is something in case people here in the chat are going to go through the same thing. Like for future-proofing, I do have a power supply big enough to handle it. So if by some chance of fate or God's graces, I wanted to change out my 3090 for a 5090, that power supply is still going to be able to handle that. I'll just have to figure out how to run the cable in. Because it's not the same, is it?
You'd want the new one because the 30 series
Okay.
probably was the 2 by 12 by
Yeah.
6 by.
Well, I use cable mods, so I'm like, I don't know if that was included in the back.
It's still just those
Oh.
would have also been rated for not the new stuff yet. So
Yeah.
when
The
it's
Asus
stuff
has a
like
new
that,
one,
it is
new one.
good to double check your cables if you are running, a good decade between upgrading or something like that.
Okay, so this NVIDIA box, first of all, is amazing, and this is it's called carbon neutral packaging, which means it's all recyclable or it's made from recycled products.
It's too
Which is
bad.
great because at first it looked like it's plastic, but it's not. It's actually all cardboard.
I wish this was made
this
with
is a-
100% carcinogens.
Wow.
That's what the graphics card does to their game. It carcinogates the game.
Bomb, bomb, bomb.
There we go. Now this is what we consider an OG. This is a manufacturer's the original.
Founders.
What do they call it?
Edition.
Founders Edition. There we go. So this is what the other companies base their designs off of, that, but they pull the casing off and redo it themselves. Is that I right on that assumption?
Yeah, like if you buy like an Asus 58 or something like that. Same card underneath, but they put their own cooler on it and usually overclock them a little bit.
There we go.
Got 3 DisplayPort and 1 HDMI coming out. Just a really solid card. This does have some weight to it. We will be using the built-in anti-sag bracket in this case, but yeah, really good looking card.
And one thing to note, now can you flip it over to the back side? The other side. Is there a fan there?
No fans.
Okay, gotcha. So there's 2 fans on the intake that blow right out the back on the top. Got it. I've recently seen some designs that have 3 intakes and then an exhaust on the top, which I was just blown away by.
Yeah, I think the
I never
Founders
realized you can see through the
5090s
back.
do that. Oh, yeah.
Ah, there we go. Well, they're hot. He said, yeah, Threat says the 5090 has one on the back. All right, there we go. That is my goal, to upgrade from a 3090 to a 5090 someday. I have not figured out the right pagan ritual to make that happen, though. Screaming at the moon hasn't worked. All right. Now, some people might have not heard this term. Oh my God, did I just break? I did. The thing that the graphics card sits on to keep it from bending down
The
is called
anti-sag bracket.
and there we go. I don't know where my words went, but that was just horrifying. Yes.
What
the
is
anti-sag
an
bracket?
anti-sag bracket?
Yeah. Let's talk about that.
That's a Jeopardy answer for you there. So an anti-sag bracket prevents the GPU from sagging over time. So you can see right here, these are mounting holes for our graphics card. So this is what's getting screwed into our case and holding it there. But over time, as video cards got longer, they started to sag on this side with no support over time. And that obviously can cause damage to your PCIe slot on your card and the PCIe slot on your motherboard. So that's why we use anti-sag brackets.
Nice. Raptor mentions, got rid of my AIO after it broke, so I have 2 intake fans and 1 exhaust fan at the top and 1 in the back. Deep Cool Assassin 4 tower cooler for CPU.
There you go.
Interesting. Interesting. There are so many different ways to cool the CPUs and different designs and takes on like pumps and air coolers. And the amount of air coolers that are out there in different designs and different concepts and different theories is mind-boggling. There are some really creative designs on that end. They're huge, though. Massive. I'd really like for somebody to make a giant fan that just looks like the Death Star. And that's what cools it. Actually crazy how cheap air coolers have gotten and how well they perform. What a time to be alive, right? I said the same thing about the Athlon XP. And here we are.
Athlon later.
If you don't know what the Athlon XP is, that was a processor that I upgraded to. And back in 2002. Yep, 2002. So, why not mount the hub in the back? Is there not enough room? Good question, Zach.
That's where the hub is at.
I would say that's where it is at. Flip it over for us real quick. Big Davey B. Hi, what's up? So, that's, as he puts it over, that is the back. That's where
like mount it, like direct mount it.
Oh, sticky
yeah,
mount it.
That's yeah, you could do that too. I just like having mine loosey goosey so that I can troubleshoot stuff. Because you know, if all you have to do is unplug and plug it back in for a fan to start working, that makes it pretty easy. But yeah, you can mount it and be able to do that too.
It's good to have a little bit of slack on those,
here.
so they don't come unplugged when it ships.
Oh yeah.
Over on the green side, we've got shit coming in. Hi, and that's their name, SCHITT, like the creek. And asks, can you order 2 5090s for double the VRAM?
It won't double your VRAM, but you can.
So SLI is not a thing anymore.
Not really.
Man, I could not imagine the amount of power and heat would be created with 2 5090s going in the same system. That'd be nuts. But, I mean, it's not...
What though?
Oh, is that a button?
What the?
Heck yeah,
It's got the button.
It's got the
It's like a lever.
fully exposed
Yeah.
button.
Don't tell your little brother or sister about it. They'll steal your graphics card.
My button, you push it down, it works, but when you try and put the card in, it doesn't go back up. It's just, I'm down, and I have not figured out how to fix that.
Sometimes we all feel like that button. And that's
I know.
okay.
I can get it out. I can't put it back in.
Nope.
Calm down.
Big Davey, that's all good.
I was just
That's
talking
what
about
we're here
feeling
for,
down,
is-
but okay.
but that's what we do here. We help teach and go through what we do in building. And so for a lot of people are DIYers, do it yourself, and that's understandable. But sometimes there might be questions or learning different procedures in order to maximize the efficiency of your build and ensure that you've got enough space for everything to fit properly. If I'd have had a show like this, it wouldn't have taken me 6 hours to assemble my first one, including having to take the motherboard on and off 6 times because I didn't think about wiring. I was like, oh, all things are in place. Oh, I guess there's cords that go with this. Huh. Well. Now, this is going to be this is more of a dev question, but all you're smart.
Maybe.
When you're gaming, I noticed that my CPU is always at 100%. My GPU, however, is not. I would think that the GPU would be the one like really cranking it out.
Depends on what game you're
Like-
playing. What game is that happening in?
Windrows.
Windrow. Oh, that's a new game. Yeah, I bet there'll be an update for that will fix that.
I will say there's one thing I've noticed is, and I've kept trying to adjust settings, but the reason it was not doing anything proper is because I was adjusting the settings while I was looking at the ocean.
Oh.
As soon as I got away from the water, FPS jumped. I thought,
Oh, yeah.
well, that's interesting.
I bet that's probably like, having the fans in the rally games and the racing games. Though that water's just, the
Yeah.
being able to make it look pretty or anything. Because isn't there like a video game that's super big, but if you just look down, you can like walk faster than the character can run?
Oh, I don't know.
So you don't
That
even
sounds
understand. And
familiar.
it's because of all
all the things.
the
Yeah.
stuff going on around you. I'm
Periphery?
like, dude, that's crazy.
That is crazy.
All right. So while Paul gets ready to start putting things back on to complete this build, I want to take you on an adventure to show you how you can get your hands on your most amazing, best PC ever. That sentence was so wrong, it's not even funny. All right, at CLX Gaming, we like to make it as easy as possible for you to get the PC of your dreams that's going to do what you need it to do. We come in 4 different sizes. We've got obviously the small builds. You've got 2 different mid-tower styles, and then you've got the full tower, which is huge, but it's worth it for me. There we go. Now, when it comes to components, we love to give you options. So we're going to run over there. We have all the GPU, all the CPUs. We've got Intel, we've got AMD, we've got NVIDIA, we've got Radeon. So you've got all of your options there to play with. And the best part is you can't screw it up. And here's why. Look, you notice that little green button turned yellow up there? So in this example, we've chosen a graphics card that requires a larger power consumption than the power supply that we chose. So the system's basically going to say either you have to choose one of these graphics cards to work with this unit, this power supply, or you have to use one of these power supplies to work with that unit. Once you fix it, it all goes back to green. You can't screw it up. It's awesome. Yeah. So everything we could think of is here. We're like a one-stop shopping center. You've got main drives, we've got secondary drives, we've got cable mods, which are awesome. Those are basically colored cables. I have them in mine, and they're awesome. And then once we get past that, we go to the foundry. Now the foundry is fun because that's how you decide how to cool your system, and that's where you're going to get your AIOs. It also is a place where you can upgrade your thermal paste. Yes, I said it. You can upgrade your thermal paste, which we'll talk about in a second. You want your GPU overclocked? We can do that. You want your CPU overclocked? We can do that too. We can do them both. And then is my favorite page in the whole site, and that's the accessories page. So, like I said, everything you could think of all in one spot. We've got our gear, CLX gear like this. And we've got everything from t-shirts to hats, caps, windbreakers. I highly recommend a windbreaker if you live in a windy city. They're actually really, really helpful. Moving on from there, we've got keyboards. You want a keyboard? We've got it, both regular and 10 keyless or TKL. We've got mice, whether you want ergonomic, pro level. We've got all of those options, wired and unwired. If you need a controller, we've got those too. So specifically for, say, Star Citizen, you want flight controls. We've got them. We've got them. Then your headsets, because you got to have good sound. And we've got a bunch of those, different from various different people. And then our mics. This is fun for you content creators. We carry Beacon Mix Create packages. So there's a Beacon mic and the Beacon Mix Create. And if you want to simplify your streaming setup, you can do that with a Mix Create, and it's actually really, really rad. It's super helpful. All right, now you want to hear sound in your studio? You got speakers. We got those. We also have monitors, and here's something to keep in mind with the monitors. I want you to look at those tabs. Pick your resolution first so you can see what's available with that resolution. And I would assume that, because that's max resolution, any resolution below that is also valid. It's not like you can only do 1440p. But yeah, definitely check it out. We've got internal screens. We've got USB hubs, and we've got routers and even chairs. Well, one chair. No, yeah, a chair. So it's a little bit of everything, but you can get your whole studio set up all right there. Now, some people might find that a little bit stressful. That's why we have our RTS section, which also stands for Ready to Ship. In the Ready to Ship section, it's our pre-builds that start at entry level, and they'll go to mid-range, high performance, and then ultra high performance. These have been built right there in the same facility that your customs are built. They've been tested, and it gives you an idea of what your budget's going to get you. And then take a look at things that you want to increase or things you want to decrease. I might want more of this, but I don't need this. Make it your own. And there you go. So, with that being said, for all of your future PC and gaming needs, head on over to clxgaming.com. See what we can do for you. All right. Ooh. And the entire Beyblade collection? Oh my gosh. That's amazing. Okay, so, are we ready?
Oh, yeah.
Let's turn it on. Let's see how Jeremiah's project worked. Ooh, lights in the back. Whoa! That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
That's beautiful. Loving it. And I like the way the white bands really just pop. I think a black frame would look differently. Mm-hmm. So, alrighty then. Well, congratulations on that. Now, I mentioned when I was talking about the RTS systems that they go to testing. Mm-hmm. Where is this going to go and why?
So I'm going to actually do some testing on this on the stream after our break. So you guys, if you want to see the benchmarks and some games on it, you can watch that. But the first thing we do in testing is get to the BIOS of the machine. We'll make sure our RAM speed is set correctly. All of our storage devices are showing up. And then we load the operating system. So most of the time it's Windows, but we can do all the other operating systems as well if you prefer. Then once that's loaded, we put the system through a 12-hour burn-in or a stress test to make sure everything's stable. We do not put any bloatware on these machines. When it comes to you, you just get a fresh, clean install of your operating system and nothing else. So like I said, I'm going to be running some of the benchmarking software right behind us. We've got this ready for stream, and then we'll be playing a couple games on it as well if you want to see what that looks like.
So, speaking of which, let's talk about that. This show happens, as usual, in two parts. In just a few, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, you're going to get to spend the afternoon with Zach as he's building another PC, and now with Paul as he takes you through 3D Mark and as well as some other games, which is going to be awesome. So this show happens every Tuesday and Thursday, starting at 11 a.m. Pacific. That is 2 Eastern. On Tuesdays, we are on YouTube. Kick, and Twitch. On Thursdays, we're exclusively on TikTok. You can find us all over the places. If you want to keep up with the latest and greatest of what's going on within CLX, check out our socials. YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, and Threads, all at CLX Gaming. If you want to get involved with an incredible community of like-minded PC enthusiasts, head on over to our Discord, discord.gg/CLX Gaming. All right. So, with that being said, on behalf of Kyle and Jason in production, Paul and Zach, stick around. We've got more coming up after the break. We'll be right back.
GTFN.
Bye.